Hello, beautiful. It's another day in paradise and another life from me. And today I'd like to share some of the takeaways and lessons that I've learned in the 5+ years that I've been a global pilgrim, aka a digital nomad without a home and a place to live full time, which is exactly what I want. So when John and I sailed on a cruise ship out of Australia back in March 2014, headed for Japan, you know, I knew we were following our dream, but I never knew what's going to happen next, and I actually never expected the lessons that we've learned. Usually, when you have a plan, the plans usually fail. So the less expectations you have, I think the better it is. And so I like to share a few of the lessons here, and maybe some of what I'm sharing is going to help you as well. So I've got a little note, so I'm looking at my notes here. So lesson number one is people you trust the most end up disappointing you the most. And that is actually true. It happened to us over the last 5+ years. It happened to us in 3 instances with people that we thought were really, really good friends. They ended up betraying our trust and betraying our agreements that we had with them. And when that happens with someone that you actually trust as a friend, and you trust them so much that you would just, you would die for them because you value the friendship so much, it is actually heartbreaking and devastating. And also it comes out of the left field. It just happens unexpectedly, and it makes it really painful and excruciatingly sad. And obviously it's at the cost of the friendship as well. So unfortunately that has happened to us. And, when I think about it, it makes me really sad. And it also makes me angry to an extent, because when you promise something, you hold up your end of the bargain. This is what one of my values is all about: integrity. And integrity is all about when you say you're going to do something, you're actually going to do it, even if it means it's to your own detriment, which means you have to maybe, make yourselves uncomfortable to be able to fulfill on your promise. But that's what a promise is all about, right? And if that happens between friends and your friends betray that confidence, then it makes it 10 times worse, because you expect that from a stranger, somebody who doesn't care about you. But when friends do it, that's not cool. So naturally, needless to say, the friendships have been broken in that instance, and that is just always very sad. The second lesson is that the world is actually not the ugly, dangerous place that the news and the media make it out to be. If you follow the news, if you read newspapers or you subscribe to watching TV, all you see is devastation. You see war, you see people stealing, people attacking others, people raping others. And you be forgiven to think that the world is dangerous and that there's more bad people in the world than there is good people in the world. But that's actually not true. The world is an amazing place, and the people all around the world. I mean, we've traveled to 35+ countries in our lifetime, probably even more now. It's actually 50+ countries. And in all the countries we've traveled to, I have never experienced a bad situation where somebody would threaten us or would downright abuse us. And of course, I realize that happens. And it happens to good people, it happens to bad people. But essentially, people all around the world, in any country in the world, are like you and I. They just want to provide for their family. They want to have work that fulfills them on a spiritual level, on a physical level, and on an emotional level. And they want to earn enough money to provide shelter, food, and a little bit of luxury for their loved ones. And people are no different in South America than they are in America or in Australia or in Canada or in Vietnam or in Thailand. Anywhere you go, people are just amazing, and they seek companionship, they seek friendship, and they want to make you happy. especially if you travel in their country. They want to be able to showcase the best of their country to you and help you understand that they're no different to you, even if they speak a different language. Lesson number 3 is you will have more fun and adventure if you leave your itinerary fluid. And a perfect example of that is that I used to be a very in-depth planner of travel. So when I'd go on a trip, the whole trip was planned down to the very last kind of hour. I would know where I would go, and then I'd know what I would do at that location. I would book trips at that location, and they would all be pre-booked, pre-researched. And you know what? Traveling like that sucks. And we haven't traveled like that ever since we left Australia in search of adventures and fun and freedom. We just choose our next destination. And usually, depending on the visa specification, depending which passport we're using, we need to know that we're going to leave the next destination, 90 days or before 90 days later, because you're only allowed 90 days in most of the countries. So we usually plan our next destinations ahead and then the one after that. And we also plan our accommodation, whether that be a house sit or an Airbnb place that we're renting. But other than that, we leave our itinerary open, and we actually don't live like tourists. We are doing what the locals are doing. So we're trying to escape the tourist traps, and we stay away as much as we can from the touristy locations. And we actually go where the locals are going, which means the foods are cheaper, the restaurants are cheaper, and you actually meet local people who want to show you their place and take you away from the hustle and bustle of tourism. Hi, Lucia, darling. Nice to see you here, darling. That's awesome. So number 4 is working at airports suck. I'm a business owner, so I need to keep working even when I'm traveling. And I've tried working at airports. You hear in the nomad communities, people talk about, I love mixing with the locals as well. It's just amazing. And you see places and areas of a country or a city where no tourist has ever stepped before. And that is, is a privilege to be able to experience that. And that's what lights me up when I'm traveling. And so, I can't work at airports. An airport is just too much fun to actually watch other people and observe the world and observe other travelers and kind of think about where certain people are coming from and where they're going. But it's not just that, it's also too loud, too destructive, too noisy, and it doesn't work for me. So not every digital nomad works at airport lounges and runs their business from airport lounges. I don't, because I just don't want to do that, right? It doesn't work for me. Number 5 is when you, what did I read here? Yeah, that's a big one. When you live your dream lifestyle, a lot of people are getting envious. Yeah, people are jealous of what you're doing because what you're actually doing when you live your life. And it doesn't matter if you travel or not. Like, you could be living your dream life, living in a city and never travel anywhere. But when you're so fulfilled with your work and with your life and you're just happy and you wake up with gratitude each day, then other people can sense that. You're like a mirror to these people who are living in an existence of drudgery and in an existence of unhappiness, and they haven't taken action on their dream. And so what you are doing is actually, when you're talking about your adventures and your travels and your lifestyle, people don't like that if they haven't taken action, because you're holding the mirror right up in their face, and it makes them even more aware of the shitty life that they experience right now, and the fact that they haven't acted on that, and they keep making excuses not to get out of that situation. So it can be very hard in a social environment to actually get the support that you need, because other digital nomads will support you no matter what, because they live that same lifestyle. But the people you leave behind, the friends you leave behind in Australia or wherever you're living, when you go off in search of adventures, they will act really weirdly often, because they keep seeing your pictures from all these amazing locations, and eventually they just get pissed off with seeing you living the lifestyle while they're sitting at home minding babies and doing it hard. So it can be quite frustrating for the people left behind. So just be mindful that you living the dream is actually like a mirror to the people who are not living their dream, and that can be quite confronting. Yeah. And last but not least is not everyone who's a digital nomad is a 20-something, free person who doesn't have any responsibility, who likes to party until late into the night and go on binge drinking and God knows what. We're 50s, yeah, like I'm 52 as of recently. John's going to be 51 at the end of this month, and we're responsible adults. We don't mind having a glass of wine and having a good time with friends, but we are very responsible, and we pride ourselves on having a sound head on our shoulders, and actually treating other people in their country with respect, which means if I go to a country like Thailand, or if I go to a country like Spain or South America, I do the very minimum of learning a few phrases of their language and actually try to communicate with people in their language, because it shows that you're respecting them, and it puts a smile on these people's faces. And, when you open those gates and those doors, you create a connection that is just magical. Hi, Daniela. Oh, thank you. Yes, we do have an amazing life. But, it's been a lot of hard work doing that. And even so I have an amazing life, I'm still working hard a lot of times in my business. So it is something you work on consistently. And then when you have that lifestyle, you got to continue working on it so you can keep it, right? But yeah, that's awesome. You're working on becoming a digital nomad in 48. That's fabulous. Like, go for your dreams, honestly. And if you have any questions, just pop them on my page here and ask away. I'm happy to answer questions and help people out, because, we got to follow our dreams, and we got to make sure that we live our life and design it based on our blueprint of what we actually want, and not wait until we are retired and then a year later, like, we put off all our dreams and we work hard and we forfeit all our joys and pleasures and put everything on hold because we are waiting for retirement. And then most people die a year later, or they get cancer, or they get really sick, and then they can't travel anyway. So if you have dreams of traveling the world, by all means, do it now. Do not wait. That's my best advice that I can give you. So yeah, we're 5+ years in, and we're still loving it. Right now, we're in Australia for a long stretch of time. We're doing a lot of house sitting jobs and pet sitting jobs for people. And we've just naturally grown into this when we came back in September last year. So we'll be in Australia until probably February, March next year, which is actually the longest stretch of time we've spent in Australia since we left Australia back in 2014. But it's kind of fun because it allows us to reconnect with some of our friends and also make new friends in the process. And really, we get to see different locations of Australia through our house and pet sitting opportunities that we haven't seen before, which is fabulous. But I just wanted to share that with you guys because, people always think that a digital nomad has to be a 20-something who loves to party and just hang out with their buddies and stuff. No, it doesn't work that way. You can be a digital nomad in middle age, and it's actually a fabulous way to live life and to enjoy life if that is what you want. All right, so if you have any questions, pop them in the comments below. Always happy to help out. But that's it for me for now. I'll do another live tomorrow, and I just want to say thank you for watching. If you've been live, I really appreciate your comments and your likes and your hearts. It gives me immense pleasure to be able to share my experience with you guys, and hopefully it's helping in any way. Yeah, have a great day. All right, thank you so much, and bye for now.